You've done all the work. You've read all the books. You've been to therapy. Maybe you're still in therapy. You have journaled, you have prayed, you have set boundaries. You have done the vision board, and you've even ended the situationship. And then, guess what? Someone new walks in, and it's 6 months later. And you're sitting in the exact same seat, feeling the exact same thing, asking yourself the exact same question. How did I end up here again? Yeah. How did I end up here again? That's the question. Now, if that landed, stay with me, because today we're not going to talk about who you are attracting. We're going to talk about what is doing the attracting. Now, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a licensed therapist and the host of this channel, where we're going to be talking about healing that is honest, faith-rooted, and actually applicable to your real life. If you're new here, I want you to know that this is a space for high-achieving women who, on paper, have it all together, but in relationships, keep finding themselves in cycles that feel anything but together. Listen, you're not broken, but something does need our attention. So let's get into it. Proverbs 4:23. Yes, most of us have seen it on a coffee mug or Instagram graphic, but I want us to actually sit with it today. It says, above all else, guard your heart, for anything you do flows from it. Now, the English translation says guard your heart, but the original Hebrew, the word used is nestar, which means to watch over, to keep, and to protect, as a sentry would protect the city gate. And the second part is, for everything you do flows from it. In Hebrew, the word for flows is rooted in the concept of outgoings, the exit, the outputs. And the writer is not being poetic here. He's being structural. He is saying your heart is the source code. Every output in your life, every choice, every response, every relationship you enter, and everyone you can tolerate, it all flows from the condition of your heart. That is not motivational language, but it is a clinical framework wrapped into that ancient wisdom. So let's apply that. When my clients, brilliant women, women with graduate degrees, women running organizations, women who can articulate their trauma in clinical language, when they come to me and say, I don't understand why I keep choosing the same kind of person, my first question is never about the other person. My first question is, what does your heart currently believe you deserve? Because here's the thing that Proverbs 4:23 is pointing to, and what neuroscience has actually confirmed. Your nervous system is not looking for what is good for you. It's looking for what is familiar to it. The clinical term is repetition compulsion, a concept first introduced by Freud and later expanded on through attachment theory through John Bowlby and Mary Ainsworth. And the idea is this, that we are unconsciously driven to recreate emotional environments of our earliest attachments, not because we want pain, but because our nervous system reads familiar as safe. So if love in your childhood felt like walking on eggshells, if love looked like someone who was emotionally unavailable, if love meant you had to perform, achieve, shrink, or rescue to be chosen, guess what? Your adult nervous system will recognize that same blueprint. It would feel like chemistry. It would feel like there's a spark. Guess what? It would feel like you're the one. And it will keep feeling that way until the original source code, the heart, is addressed. That is what Proverbs is telling us. Not just guard who we let in, but guard what is living inside of you that keeps opening the door. Now, I want to speak specifically to the high-achieving women watching this, because there is a particular pattern I've seen in this demographic that often goes unaddressed. High achievers are really good at cognitive healing. You can tell your attachment styles, right? You can identify your triggers, and you can probably explain polyvagal theory. Yes, you have done all the intellectual work, and that work is real. I'm not minimizing that, but there is a difference between understanding your wound and healing your wound. And the heart, what Proverbs calls the heart, what we in clinical work might call the limbic system, the emotional and relational core of who you are, the heart does not heal through information alone. Now, I want you to hear this again. The heart does not heal through information alone. You can know exactly why you're in a pattern and still repeat it. I've watched this happen. I've sat across women for years who could diagnose their own dynamic with precision, but still go home to the same thing that they were wanting to get rid of. Family members, girlfriends, you name it, I've seen it. But Because education lives in the prefrontal cortex of our brain, which is the newer part, your rationale choices have been driven from something much more deeper. It's from the amygdala, from the body. This is where years of patterns and experiences have been becoming the nervous system's default setting. And that's why Proverbs doesn't say inform your heart or analyze your heart. It says guard it, tend to it, be sentimental at the gate of it. This is an active, embodied, ongoing practice, not a one-time revelation. So what does it actually mean to guard your heart in a modern, practical sense? I want to give you 3 things, not a checklist, but a framework. Number 1 is notice what you are normalizing. One of the clearest signs that your heart has an unhealed wound driving the ship is the certain red flags that don't read as red flags. They read as normal. Inconsistency feels exciting. Emotional unavailability feels like a challenge to rise to. Someone who needs rescuing feels like purpose. Listen, guarding your heart means developing the capacity to pause and ask, is this familiar or is this actually healthy? Listen, those are not always the same thing. In practice, this is where somatic awareness comes in, starting to notice your physical cues. When you are with someone, does your body feel open and at ease? Or do you feel hypervigilant, like you're waiting for something to go wrong? Your body often knows before your mind catches up. Number 2, examine what you believe you're worth in this relationship. Not what you know, what you believe, because there is often a gap between high-achieving women's professional identity and their relational self-concept. She can negotiate a 6-figure contract at 9 a.m. and accept breadcrumbs from a partner at 9 p.m. and not even fully recognizing there's contradictions in between. I want you to ask yourself honestly, if a friend described my relationship to me, how would I feel in it? What am I receiving and what am I tolerating? What would I tell her? What you allow in love is a direct reflection of what you believe you're worth in love. And that belief lives within the heart. Number 3, do relational repair work, not just self-awareness work. Here's where I am going to challenge you. Healing relational wounds often requires relational experiences. It cannot happen entirely in isolation. In your journal, in your solo therapy sessions, in quiet time alone. No, at some point, healing actually means practicing these new patterns in actual relationships, whether it's in a safe friendship, in a coaching container, or in a therapeutic relationship, or eventually a romantic relationship, where you consciously choose differently and stay present when the familiar pull comes. Now, Proverbs says, guard your heart, but it does not say a guarded heart is a closed heart. The goal is not to have walls. The goal is to tend to your heart, one that is healthy enough to receive, discerning enough to protect itself, and regulated enough to choose from wholeness instead of a wound. Now, I want to close with this. The reason you keep attracting the same relationship is not because you are unlucky. It's not because all the good ones are taken. It is not because something is fundamentally wrong with you. It's because the heart, your heart, is the most sophisticated GPS system you own. And right now, it may be running directions that were programmed a long time ago by experiences you did not choose and in conditions you did not create. Listen, Proverbs 4:23 is not a guilt trip. It's an invitation. Above all else, your career, above your productivity, above your image, even above your spiritual performance. Guard your heart, sis, because everything flows from it. Your next relationship will not be different because you find a different person. It will be different because you are different, because the source code has been updated, and because the heart has been tended. And that work, that is some of the most important work you will ever do. Now, if this resonated with you, I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What was one of the things you normalized in relationships that you're now questioning? You don't have to share all the details. Even just acknowledging it is a step. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And please share this with a woman in your life who needs this conversation today. And if you're ready to go deeper, I have resources linked below. Now, this is not therapy, but it is a starting place for real work. I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. And I mean that in the most clinical, faith-filled way possible. Tiffany.